Thank you, Charles Perry. Charles is correct. I put about 7,000 miles on my van in the last 3 weeks of Charles Perry campaign, and I did it proudly. I knocked on many doors. It takes us, folks. These individuals cannot do it by themselves. Don't believe the drive-by billboard. They need people like you and I with our emails, with our Facebook, with our MySpace, sending out the positive message of who these people are. This is a dear friend of mine, Jim Landtroop from Plainview, Texas. I've known him for nearly 20 years. He's a great friend, a great man. He's a God-fearing man, and I've invited him today to here to you so y'all can get to know him. We need to get behind him in District 85. Spread the good word of Jim Landtroop. Give a hand.
Well, good morning. It's good to be here today. Brad, thank you for inviting me to this and giving me this opportunity. You know, on March 2nd, in 1836, while brave men were fighting for their lives at the Alamo in San Antonio, the Republic of Texas was born. And ever since that time, Texans have had a proud history of standing up against those who would threaten our way of life. You know, it all began when the Mexican government in Santa Ana seized all control and power and tried to dictate their way of life against the will of the people. But there was a group that stood up and said, that's not the way we do things in Texas. Our Texas Constitution and our United States Constitution were created to protect the individual rights of the people. In less than 2 years, we have seen our federal government bail out the auto industry, the insurance industry, the banking industry, and they've taken over the healthcare industry. Well, that's just not the American way to do things. Absolutely. You know, as America, we did not like the British government controlling our lives in 1776. We did not like the Mexican government controlling our lives in 1836. And we do not want the federal government controlling our lives in 2010. You know, Thomas Jefferson said, when injustice becomes law, resistance becomes duty. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is our duty to stand up now and elect true conservative leadership to represent us in Washington and in Austin. Leaders that support the Constitution and will act and vote accordingly. Leaders that understand that our individual rights and liberties are given to us by God in heaven, not by politicians in Washington. But make no mistake, we are in a battle for a free America, an America that encourages individuals to dream big and to take risks and to work hard to achieve that American dream. A battle for an America that we once had and that we can have again. An America where the greatest possession somebody could have was their name, where their handshake was their word, and where their word actually meant something. An America that would rather give a hand up than a hand out. Now, unfortunately, our America has turned from being the land of opportunity to the land of entitlement. Now, I was listening to Rush Limbaugh a week after Obamacare passed, and he played a clip of an interview. It wasn't his interview, but he played a clip of an interview of a young man. And the young man was talking about since Obama became president, he said, it's like Christmas. That's the words he used. He said, it's like Christmas. I don't have to worry about making my mortgage payment. I don't have to worry about making my car payment. And the idea was that Obama was going to give him everything he needed. And that's a mentality that we're fighting against in today's society. You know, I saw a shirt the other day, and on it, it said, a government that is big enough to give you everything you need is strong enough to take away everything you have. And that's the truth. Now, I think Lieutenant Colonel Allen West said it best when he said that the Constitution says we are to promote the general welfare, not provide welfare. You know, and I think it's great that we have these events and we have these rallies where we can come out, where we can encourage each other, where we can put our arms around each other and help each other out, where we can get our message across about limited government and low taxes and personal responsibility. But if we don't put arms and hands and legs to our words, nothing's going to happen. You know, change doesn't happen because you want it to. And change doesn't happen because you expect it. Change happens because you get involved and you make it happen. And Lubbock, you guys, over these Republican primaries earlier this month, you have done a great job in making change happen. And for that, I congratulate you. But you can't stop now. This is just the beginning. We need, and you guys got to understand, your passion for what you're doing is infectious. And what you need to do between now and November, you need to go out and infect more people with that passion of limited government and small taxes. Charles, will you and John come up on the stage? You know, the story of the Alamo goes in 1836, Colonel William Barrett Travis drew a line in the sand. And he told those men, he goes, if you believe in this, if you believe in Texas, if you believe in individual freedom, if you believe in personal responsibility and individual rights, then I want you to cross that line. And the story says all but one person crossed that line. Well, we have another cross that line moment today. But that line was not drawn by a person that was a champion for individual rights. That line has been drawn by our federal government, and they are daring us to cross it. Well, I can tell you, Charles Perry and John Frullo and myself and our families, we've taken that challenge and we've crossed that line. And we're asking you to cross that line with us. However you can get involved, and Charles mentioned this, whether it's giving money or giving time, putting out yard signs, whatever it is that you can get involved, you have to get involved. You have to put action to your passion in order to make change happen. You know, the week before Obamacare passed, I had my children. I have a 15-year-old, a 13-year-old, and one that will be 10 years old tomorrow. Happy birthday, sweetie. We had them call congressmen and women who said that they were undecided. And we had them tell them that their generation cannot afford this health care. But they didn't listen. And the federal government, not all of them, but at least the majority of the federal government, is not listening to us. But I tell you, if we all work together, come November 2nd, when that last ballot is cast and counted, they will hear us, and they will hear us loud and clear. Because we will be screaming from the mountaintop that we are not going down without a fight. Together, if you will join us, we will send a message to Washington that down here in Texas, Texans can take care of themselves. Thank you. May God bless you. May God bless West Texas.